Today we're going to talk about communication, community building and activation. Yeah, like this woman here, I think it's Christina Aguilera. You want people to activate, click on the buttons. I believe that acquisition and awareness is well figured out by marketing, and that through all our years of sales experience, the end of the tunnel, monetization and retention, to neuromarketing and neuroscience, we are pretty good at that. But activation is still kind of like the black box. It's like, why do people actually click on something? Why do people, use our products, become our clients, actually want, our services? Today, I presented I will present 9 growth cases for you, where I've selected multiple cases of companies in the D2C space, in the B2B space, and in the SaaS space, because that's where we oftentimes see activation strategies. But I believe that for everyone, no matter in which industry or which kind of like business you are, this can be useful. So let's begin. So I don't know if you ever heard of Harry's. Harry's is one of the few companies which I ever heard of who actually took on Gillette. It's a brand saving company, probably the most famous one you've seen on the television. Like a real man uses Gillette or Gillette. So what is Harry's? So Harry's is a subscription service for premium razor blades and shaving foam. When I first heard about it, I was like, God damn, nobody's gonna buy that. But it's widely popular. They got, for example, 100K email addresses just in the first campaign in just 1 week, which is fucking insane because they just had 12 employees. So how did they actually activate people to when they go to their launch page to actually, give that email address and that email address of their friends away? So first thing what they did is they made the landing page a little bit more interesting, as most people do. So when you go to a landing page, first thing you is always like, this is my product, subscribe, give me your email address. Yeah. So they played a little bit like the mysterious angle. It's like, okay, we are gonna launch this razor blade company. Do you want to be the first to know? Do you want to have an insider secret? Yeah. Teasing people a little bit. Yeah. And instead of, subscribe or give me your email address, they've like step inside as if they, you enter a secret room. I thought that was really, really smart. Second thing is that after you were inside, you get a couple of like images like, oh, this is how we are changing the market, the average, key selling points, that kind of stuff. And then they were like, invite friends in product. So they immediately were like, okay, let's gamify this stuff. So for every email address that you give of your friends, at 5 you get a free shave cream. With 10 you get some razor blades. 25 you get a Winston share a shave set, and 50 1 year of free blades. Now, I don't think there are many people who have 50 email addresses just to give away, so I think that was a very smart deal. But then, okay, cool. You're like, okay, nice. You get some email addresses, but I can generate 10 free email addresses in a second. It's called temp email, or I use it all the time. Just use SaaS to SaaS trials for free. So how do you actually growth hack this? So first thing that they did was they actually tested every email address. They used it for SendGrid. Therefore, when you sign up as an email address, they just verify this is actually a real email address and not like a fake one. And then afterwards, they distribute the rewards. Second thing is they, if you want to dominate the news cycle, I'll show you. You have brand push for just I think it's like €100. Yeah. For $159, you're on Fox News, USA Today, Market Watch, Digital Journal. Yeah, it's fucking nothing. And you get there for 5 days. Yeah, and I don't know how they do it, but this works. This is how you hack. A launch of whatever, just because you dominate the news cycle. 25 sites on 14 monthly readers, a lot of domain authority. Then, of course, if SendGrid is just like a average email sender thing like MailChimp, and then Blue Sender. But this one has a lot of additional functionalities. Yeah. So second DTC company, Lovevery. Yeah. So I was like, God damn, was this kind of like a weird D2C company? It's a company which sells pre-made toys for children, and it's a subscription where you get a toy every month for your child, which then, gets more intelligent because these so-called toys are science-based. They're actually science-based, and they have like neuroscientists, psychologists, whatever. And I was like, first I was like, oh, fucking genius. Like, you have just create a thing, put it in a box, called D2C, bomb, and have a company. No, it's not that easy. So they got a 5x times subscriber growth in just 1 year. And I don't know, I was like, oh, that's fascinating. How did they actually do it? So let's first show what kind of ads they showed you. So I hope you like this commercial. I'm not sponsored by Lovevery or whatsoever. I just wanted to show you. This is called neuromarketing. Yeah. So if you see a child, a baby, or any cute animal for that matter, you immediately want to save, protect it, safeguard it. Yeah. So they were like very smart with it. Yeah. Get a lot of kids in there, let them smile, and use that to your advantage. Then if you remember that the video still, they added this layer of like, yeah, it's science based, probably it is science based, to get those conspicuous parents like, oh yeah, but it's not science based, or no, you want to have the best for your kid. Yeah. Then they show you like in the end like, oh, I have all this money, why not spend like I don't know, a little bit money on the toys as well. So they were smart. After people were seeing this video, yeah, they the first thing that they did was like, okay, we're gonna push out this video to people, and we need people to come to our website and test out our product, see our product. So they were like thinking, okay, nobody watches TV anymore, yeah, or at least the 40 plus 50 people, they watch TV, but my generation, the millennials, we watch streaming services, and a lot. Yeah. So they used Roku to target all these millennials, with these kind of like video ads. Yeah. Um, then, because they know millennials are not like gonna buy if they see one video ad, they're like, okay, they're gonna look after they seen such a video, they're gonna go to a spot and go ask for questions. So what's the best place to ask a question? Go actually to Quora. So they went to Quora, and there they promoted their answers, which actually people love, because to my surprise, a lot of people don't know how to raise their children. That's actually not a surprise, man. It's kind of hard, I believe. So and they're gonna ask questions like, how do I help my kids? And they just promote the answers, and people like that. Furthermore, they have like a 400,000 subscribers just on their newsletter by itself, which is like, hey, do you want to do some activities with your kid? And then you have to say like how old your kid is, and then they send you a list of activities. And again, if you look at all these images here, it's constantly neuromarketing. The kid, just to give you an example, is looking at where you have to click. The kid here is looking to the answer. So the kid is looking at the mother. This is not the best example of neuromarketing, but they have so many images of parents with kids and kids with parents, kid happy, kid not happy, that you are triggered emotionally to at least look at the website, and then maybe try it out. Then as you see at the end, they use a lot of their customer success stories. They have to do Instagram, Facebook, all the shit for millennials. Just to give you an example of how successful this Let's Go on streaming services instead of normal TV. This is just their aesthetics. 72% awareness. That's a shit ton a lot. 160% purchases. And a 1.56 on ROAS. Fucking insane. And Kira, here you can click on it, and then they explain you, how to use Kira for your business. Okay, next D2C. So I don't know if you know ButcherBox. I hope not many people are vegetarian here. Or if you are, that's fine. Be who you are. But ButcherBox is basically the complete opposite of being a vegetarian. You're gonna buy meat, but you're gonna buy high quality meat. Grass-fed, outside, vegetarian. And this company went bullshit crazy. Literally. They had 750,000 orders on Kickstarter just in the first 24 hours. I've never seen such an insane success. So how, again, did they do that? This is, again, growth hacking all the way. So first thing they were was like, okay, we're going to do a Kickstarter. And this guy, he actually, before he launched this company, he had another company. I think he got to Series D, completely crashed it. The company doesn't exist anymore. I think it's a cent share or something like that. And he was like, okay, I'm not going to get, all these millions, billions of investments in again, because, I have to listen to all these investors. It's very annoying. Let's actually do it with Kickstarter. So he was like, okay, if you go to Kickstarter, I go often to Kickstarter just to see what people are making in this world. So interesting. Also, if you want to have a very good gift for your dad or your mother or whatever, who's kind of like innovative, go to Kickstarter. Really good gifts, but you sometimes have to wait a year or sometimes even 2 years. Then again, very, very cool stuff to see what's going on in the world. So if you go here, you see projects we love. So Kickstarter has a special page. I only go to this page, and I think many people on Kickstarter actually do this. And it is projects picked by the Kickstarter people, and they get much more attention. So their first question was for this growth hacking project: how do we actually get that badge? So the first thing what they did is they reached out to Kickstarter. You would be surprised how often you can reach out to Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or even Product Hunt for that matter, to just get them on your side. That was not enough. Because many people do that and they just give advice for your Kickstarter. So then they did. I don't know if you're gonna call this fair. I think it's a hustle. So at Kickstarter, the first thing you see is how much money there was pledged and how many backers there are. So higher the number, the more you think that it's a great project. So they did the following. Before the Kickstarter, they did a pre-sales launch in which this guy, who is already a multi-millionaire or whatever, convinced his friends, like, hey buddy, do you want to do a 5k investment in my product on Kickstarter? Hey buddy, do you also want to do a 5k investment? So you had two people of 5k. That's already again a 10k investment. I can go to Kickstarter and we'll show you that that's insane. You never see that almost. And then they had another couple of people who also did the 1000k investment, and then another couple of people who did the box. The box is between like 146 and 363. So basically the game to system, because when you see this number already on 10 or 12 or 15k, it's like, oh whoa, that's a really good Kickstarter. Oh, I have to launch on it as well. Of course, it was also good products, not all like that, but he used his own money for what I know, and it's like, okay, if you buy this, I give you 5k. And that's basically how he did it. Then we go to another thing. He did influencer marketing. So influencer marketing was back then new. It's now not as new anymore. But the amazing thing he did is that he got all these influencers to activate, quote unquote, without paying them. Yeah, till this day, he does not pay any of these influencers money. Why? Because he did a commission deal. Yeah, and what was his commission deal? You get 4 to 6% commission on every sale you make. So basically, how much money is that? That's like $10 to $15 on every sale they make. Still, nowadays, he pays 10 to 15K a month to some of these influencers, because again, he did not add in the in the deal like it stops after 10 months. No, it's just on every box you get a 4 to 6% commission. Yeah, so they this is a good example of like a gigantic revenue, not as much profit. But he grew like insanely through all these influencers. And the reason, again, how he did this is he just first gamed Kickstarter. Then he came to these influencers like, hey, do you see, we got 10,000 people dollars pledged in 24 hours. If you gonna do this video for me, let's make if you do 100 sales, 100 times 10 is $1,000. Yeah, oh, that sounds nice. Yeah. So he first gained Kickstarter, then gained the entire influencer market. Yeah, and I believe you can still do this. Yeah, you can still, like first make sure that you actually hit within the number 10 project of the day on Kickstarter or Indigo or whatever your D2C company is going to be, and then go back to influence like, oh, I'm gonna give you this, 4 to 6% commission if you do that for free. Yeah, people love this already. Cool. And the thing is, nowadays it's actually easier, because back then he needed to find all these influencers and then like, hey, this is my product. Do you want to? Nowadays we can just go to Lovevery. Yeah, I'll just give you a show. Yeah, you go to this website. Yeah, find all these influencers and whatever they do. You can just like even pick the category, can click the platform. Yeah, and then just reach out to them on Instagram, DM them or TikTok them, whatever, and just like, hey, I'm doing this startup or I'm doing this business. Can you just like promote me? So then second thing is, you need to have someone who fixes this affiliate marketing, or affiliate share sale. It's used by many of these big companies. I'll show you here: BuzzFeed, Etsy, Oni, Reebok, and you just make an account in this, and they fixed all this associate marketing stuff. This makes it like so much more easier. Of course, for all these companies here, they all said good marketing, blogs and SEO. Well, I'm now looking at the outlier strategies which you can use for yourself. Yeah, you probably won't have that big amazing success like all these companies here, but at least you can give it a try. And activation, it's if you look at all the cases that I analyzed, all these companies, that just one philosophy. It's like, let's do as many experiments as possible to see what works, and then we just stick with it and move forward. So now we're gonna go to the product-led growth people here, the SaaS, the platform, those people. So I love Slack, and I think I love Slack since it first was created. Slack has a 30% conversion rate from freemium to paid. That's insane. Just to give you in comparison, Spotify only has 27%. And if you look at Google, Dropbox, and even Evernote, they have like super small conversion rates. Yeah, this is not a plea like, oh, product-led growth or freemium doesn't work. No. This is just to show you that it can work, but you have to play intelligently. So for everyone, I hope everyone knows here what Slack is. Slack is kind of like I call it like the WhatsApp or for work. Instead of sending constant all the emails and that kind of stuff, you just do Slack. You have topics and you talk to each other. Really useful to share documents within the company. You have GIFs, emojis. You can I think even you can have like sales reports and marketing reports on Slack. It's all internal, so nobody else sees it, and it works effortless on your phone, tablet, and computer. Okay, so how did Slack have this amazing activation? So first is that they have put user experience, so not MMR, monthly returning revenue, or active sessions. No, they put user experience as the North Star. The first thing you would ask yourself is, how do you measure user experience? Good question. I think they did a lot of this go back and forth like feedback cycles, and just they tracked using tools like UserPilot and Chameleon and Amplitude to see what works and what didn't work. So first thing what you can do is, let's say you have your own platform, yeah, make the onboarding as distraction free as possible. Yeah, so Slack at first is very complex things like, oh, this Slack, you can do this. No, Slack nowadays is like 5 steps. Like, hey, this Slack, here's your email, or we need your email. You log in. Slack, here you can have a topic, you can search. Do you want to invite friends? Yeah, or do you want to invite your people? Just 5 steps. Yeah, and the reason why it's this simple is that people have an attention span, how they put it here, nowadays lower as a goldfish. Goldfish has 9 seconds on average, a human has 8 seconds. Yeah, so it has to be this simple. Back to the basics. Yeah. Furthermore, in activating more people, they're like, okay, instead of like constantly, like saying, oh, money back, free back. Actually, Slack went further ahead. It's like, okay, if you're not using Slack for the money that you pay for it a month, we're actually gonna refund, the money that you did not use. So I have no idea how they actually manage this. I think it's probably very hard to do. But it's not like, oh no, you pay 1 month ahead and then 1 month before you can quit. I thought that was really really friendly towards their user. So if you want to do this for yourself, I've always been a great fan of UserPilot, but I have to say Chameleon, they just blew them out of the field. Chameleon is even better probably than UserPilot in terms of like onboarding. They have mobile, web, and platform, and then they are really good at activation, retention. They have like a growth hackers behind it. Another one, this is very simple. Let's say you are a SaaS company and you notice that a lot is more retention based, but kind of like activation as well, because I believe your first sale is also activation. So you need to use something like OptiMonster, which shows like a recently bought notification to help sometimes people who are not sure to buy something or not. Recently sold, the notification works really well, or at least try it out. There are many of these tools like this, but I just picked OptiMonster because it's one of the biggest one. Now we go to Discord. Yeah, the one which if I had to put my money on a platform which could ruin Slack, it's 100% Discord. Luckily, they have different audiences, so probably it's not going to happen. But Discord is on another level insane compared to Slack. They got 25 million people in just 1 year to register on this platform. Why is this so widely successful? First, Slack is so widely successful because they innovated. Yeah, instead of just having a channel where people can play, they have servers. So it's kind of like a topic, and within the server they have conversations, and those are called channels. Then they noticed, like, hey, wait a second. They started as an audio only company for people who were gaming because it was always so slow. That you can talk to your buddies while having a high definition game experience. So later that became with chats, GIFs, and all, and they added all the stuff. But I think the most important core of why Discord is so widely activated by people is because they give a lot of agency. And what do I mean with agency? Is that most social media platforms, they hate bots. Yeah, you get banned for using bots. Discord is Botopia. Yeah, they actually promote you using bots, so you can automate the tasks which you don't want to do, like saying, "Hey, welcome to our chat," or "Hey, we see you bought this NFT. Bam, you are now in the premium rank." Yeah, so not only can you have programmable bots on Discord, you also have what they call permissions and roles. So you can make someone let's say a moderator, but you can there are many more roles as moderator. So let's say you have a community and you want to have like they pay me so much a month for extra privileges. Then you just give them that specific role, and it is super easy. Basically, Discord, if you really reverse engineer this, is not anymore a chat service, but it's basically a social media platform pass. So every server, that's how I perceive it, is just a social media on itself, and they can adjust it however they want to like it. Which is in itself, I would say, genius. Okay, back to the growth hacking. So we have again, as we were saying, a lot of the Discord bots, and the most important thing you found is that they have an insane fast feedback loop cycle. Yeah, so the first thing is like, oh, gamers, okay, cool. And it was like, oh, what do you want? Oh, we want to actually create bots. Cool. And then like, oh, can we create bots? Yes, let's create bots. Yeah. Second thing is they listen to their community again really fast. And they're like, okay, what do you want? Yeah, we want to reward programs. Yeah, we want to make people loyal to us. Yeah, and the trick here is this thing is that your users drive activation, but in order for your users to drive the activation of the newer users, you need to give them agency. Yeah, you need to give them control. So how do you do this in your own company? Let's say you're a SaaS. What you do is you build the API. I think that if you want to take yourself serious as a SaaS, you need to have an API. Yeah, because you need your users to build with your platform what it can be as opposed to what you think it is. I have many friends who work in the SaaS industry, and I was like, oh, why don't people understand the onboarding? Why do I constantly have to explain them what the platform is about? It's like, then something goes, I believe, wrong in your marketing, or the platform is just too difficult to use. I've never heard anyone complain like, oh, this platform is too easy to use. Yeah, it's always the opposite. Yeah. So first, fix the API. Yeah, make an API, make that those people who can code, people who understand how to use a tool, for example, like us growth hackers in an automation platform, how to leverage that. Yeah. If you use this API platform, it's a pre-made no-code. I think it's a kind of no-code, low-code tool where you can just, they already built a library, so you can make a super fast API for your platform. Yeah. Second thing is, in order to grow fast or to do all these experiments about activation, you need to have this rapid user feedback cycle. Yeah, Alida is the industry standard, especially if you want to have a creator economy on your platform. Yeah, so let's continue. So this is Tweethunter. I'm a big fan of them. So Tweethunter is the tool for Twitter. They got a 60,000 MMR in just 10 months, and basically they started out as this is the most basic SaaS company I've ever heard about. The guy, he was like, oh, let's actually start a business. So he's finally like, cool, let's do like 6 or 7 launches. So they launched a couple of products. Nothing really took off. One of the guys was the sales guy, and he was constantly selling, but no product was really getting into the market. So the product guy or the growth guy, the marketing guy, he was like trying to get build an audience or community on Twitter. So at some point it's like, I can just group a lot of like tweets together and just make a database of it, and then every day I pick out of the database a tweet to just rewrite it and put it there. That became Tweethunter. So nowadays Tweethunter is much more you have AI rewriting tweets, and this is really a good tool which shows you how to do activation really well. Because okay, why would you use a tool like Twitter if you just can go on Twitter and find these tweets for yourself? So first thing that what they do is they use different CTAs. Yeah, everybody use subscribe, join now, buy now, purchase. Yeah, so they have stuff like request access. Yeah, and I read this in a specific case. So it's like request access. I was like, nobody's gonna click on that. Actually, a lot of people click on this. Yeah, it makes you feel special. Again, it's again what you saw at Harry's back again. By using different copy, people are actually more fascinated. Like, what is this about? Yeah, well, why do I do this? Yeah, so same like this. So usually, when you have a challenge, yeah, people say stuff like subscribe now or join. Now they're like, join the challenge. Yeah, and they make it also very effortless. You join just with Twitter, and then you can win. I think the top 3 can win between 10K in prizes. Yeah, but the most fascinating, and this is actually the thing which I was like, okay, I've been using the free version for a while now. Let's actually go pay for this and see what it does for me. So I get the onboarding email, and actually the first thing I do with every platform I usually onboard is cancel the onboarding email. Yeah, why? Because I don't want to learn how to use the platform. I figured it out myself. Yeah, and most people I believe are like that. I don't know that many people who are gonna wait 7 days to understand how a platform works. And you want to do that or as fast as possible. So when I went to this email, cancel it, and I was like, hey, wait, let's actually read this email, yeah, because they just piqued my interest. It was differently written as another email. Instead of like, hey, we're gonna show you how the platform works, do A, B, or C. Now they were like, hey, mate, nice that you are on this platform. We want to show you what our other customers already have done with this platform, yeah, or users. So very smart. It's like, god damn, that's smart. Instead of explaining to me how it works, no, show what I can do with the platform by using customer success stories. Yeah. And I think that if you really think about it, every email chain or should have this. Yeah, this is the ultimate activator, because it not only shows you what is possible, it shows you like, oh, okay, I can think in terms of this way of using this platform. Yeah. So from the get-go, I was already, okay, this has a very active community, or else they would not put this in there. Yeah. And for example, read this, like how I made 10,000 with just one thread. Yeah, I definitely want to read that. Yeah. So I stay in there. 30 tweeted this. These are all like kind of like clickbaity titles. Yeah. But they are things that I was like, oh, that's interesting. I also want that for my Twitter. Yeah. So, just some other tips how they did it. So in order to have more people activated, they went to a platform like Product Hunt. Like, I love Product Hunt. I can recommend every SaaS company, or even if you are an agency, whatever, just go on Product Hunt and launch something. Yeah, it can be a simple tool just for everyone here who works at an agency. Just make a test. Yeah, and I call it inbound marketing 101. Yeah, make a test, growth scan, marketing scan, creative agency scan about what this company, what you can do as a company, yeah, where you are. Yeah, they have like a nice image, cool like way to find out where they are in terms of strategy, money, whatever. Yeah, and you have the ultimate onboarding card because you see where the problem is. This works so much better than constantly saying like, hey, do you need growth strategy? Do you need, yeah. Just let them come to you. And product count, ideal place. Yeah, all these people are already on there. Just put your tool out. Yeah. And the thing is, that's like, yeah, Jasper is not data science. Yeah, doesn't matter. It's a subjective tool. And that's all the way of the inbound is like, people want to know where they are, and then people want to know how you can help them. If you just give that to them, yeah, make it subjective. So it's not that if you build a tool that you won't have clients anymore or something like that. It's just that people will remember, oh, that was the guy who helped me identify that I had a problem there in strategy. Yeah. Then afterwards, you can still do the like, hey, we see that you have a problem in this strategy point here. Do you want to talk about this? But I believe this is a much better way than just doing the automatic sales messages, which everybody is doing nowadays. And you can actually launch many of these things. Yeah, just go to your employees and just ask like, hey, what do you think is cool? And then just launch it. Yeah, it creates team spirit. It shows that your company is thinking outside of the box instead of like constantly inside of the box. And Product Hunt is like this gigantic community of people who are willing to try out new things, and maybe you even learn a few things by launching something like this. Yeah. Second thing, use social listening. So what's social listening? Social listening is automated tools which scrape basically platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, to come up with insights about how audiences are going to think. Those are what we call trend alerts, but also what they are thinking right now. Yeah, it's I call it not the magic box, but it's so much can be won with this tool. For example, you have this one is here is about social listening. It's called Audience Sense. And they specifically go for Twitter, and you learn a lot. You know, you get special personas. You learn, you get psychographics, demographics. You can compare them. Another one which I always promote to people is Answer the Public. This is based on Google search. I will show you that you also know what I'm talking about. It's this one. Answer the Public. Let's just say you are in a real estate. We're gonna pick where's it? United States, of course, English. And what they show you here, just very simple. Again, what's our search audience insights? They show you how often a question is searched in Google. Yeah, and they show that of many questions. Yeah, and then if you're like a lazy marketer, you can even click on it, and then you get the research. Don't forget to add there last year, or the results are not gonna be that promising. Yeah, that's a Tweethunter. I can really explain it. So now for the people who actually are in these agencies, growth hackers, freelancers, this man, if there's one guy you should actually follow on LinkedIn, it's Tyron Gioladi. This man knows sales. Yeah, it's a crazy Australian man, which I've watched many webinars on LinkedIn selling, but this man, he understands it. Yeah, and he has a 300% response rate in 65 industries and 6 continents. Yeah, so why is this company doing so well? So first thing he does on LinkedIn is pattern interrupts. So what we often see, especially in social selling, are two things. Either you are what I call the nosy neighbor, which is like knocks on your door, it's like, hey, do you want to buy my stuff? And then most people are like, I don't know you, who the fuck are you? Or you're like, hey, do you want my stuff? And you have that problem, and then you respond. Yeah, so sometimes it works. Yeah, or it is like you get a knock on the door and you see a package, and it's like, hey, do you wanna this free tool? Do you wanna have tips? All that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so I call the gift. Gifts also work well. I think everybody loves Christmas and that kind of stuff. But he went a step further. He's like, no, create an irresistible question. So let's say you want to talk to someone very important. Yeah. So they do YouTube videos, podcast stuff, and all that stuff. But they have such a busy career that they don't constantly think about what has happened. So quite easy. Just go to their account, find a video which is like 2 weeks or like a year old. Or just you can even click on LinkedIn post and just go scroll back there 1 year. And then just like, hey, I saw you at this YouTube video. What do you think about that? Yeah. And they were there. And if you ask the right question, they are triggered by that. They want to respond by that. For example, I work in growth. And I have a really, I think, for example, that sales and marketing should not, I believe that they at some point will just stop existing. And I was like, asking, hey, what do you think about that? Because I actually want to know that. And if you work in sales or marketing, or if you work in growth, everybody has an opinion on that. And they want to share that. This is just a simple example of an irresistible question. Yeah. And you can go really, some people are like, oh, it has to be fear-based. Oh, I don't believe. Just be curious, yeah? Because social selling, and this for everyone, it's not about selling. It's about connecting, yeah. And many people don't get that. And then I constantly get these inbox messages like, and I get like, hey, do you want to buy from me? And I'm like, in the beginning, I was like, I will type out, yeah, do you know that if you would do this in real life, that you would also not buy this from me? Like, it's like dating. You don't, just jump in. It's like, hey, I want to have your number. No, you just build up slowly. And nowadays I just stop. Like, I found this one video which explains this really well. It's I'll actually slow you because I believe this I have hopefully everybody should know this. It's that where's it? Business here. Where's my video? Here. Okay. Sorry. I can't find the right video at the moment. Basically, it's just like this guy who runs to you on a park and says like, "Hey, do you want to buy this?" And it's like, "What the fuck? I'm just chilling here on the bench." That's basically social selling, what most people do. Yeah, and maybe you get like a 4 or 6% opening rate. I get a 26 to 30% openings rate. Yeah, so it can work for you, but it can work 10 times as good. Yeah, just if you were to listen to this guy, social selling made social, or selling made social. So second tip, yeah. Okay, look at your own sales automation funnel, yeah, and be honest, yeah. How many messages do you send? Most people, they send 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 messages. That's max, yeah. Most people, they actually send 3 and that's it, yeah. If you're smart, you build a nurture sequence, yeah. So why is social selling so hard? Yeah, so the timing has to be right. Yeah, they do need to have that problem. Yeah, they do need to have kind of a connection with you. Yeah, you do need the right message. Yeah, so many things can go wrong in social selling. Yeah, which you don't have if you have a like face-to-face conversation. So in order to get it right, you build it up. Yeah, so instead of going for this like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sales moments, you go for fucking 12. Yeah, for an entire year. Yeah, you drip people in. Yeah, so you start like, hey, no, you start to have a conversation, and then it's like, hey, would you like to be in the loop and get some content of me? Cool, nice. Then just we're now talking about LinkedIn. Keep them on LinkedIn. So we have LinkedIn article, LinkedIn newsletter, LinkedIn webinars nowadays. Yeah, just send them to that. Yeah, and then they can watch the content in their own time. Yeah, and they will remember you. Yeah, and then after 3 months, yeah, you go back. Say, hey, of course you can still start in the first 3 months for a sales meeting, but if that doesn't work, cool. Then you keep them in the loop. Ask them if they want to keep in the loop. Yeah. Then we go 4 or 5 months later. It's like, hey, maybe you're. How are you doing? Did the situation change? Cool. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Or no? Okay, cool. No. Then you do this a couple of times throughout the year. Yeah, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Yeah, and science has proven that if someone doesn't want to buy from you within a year, they are probably never gonna buy from you. Yeah. A year is they've had many opportunities to show your value or to get it, and of course be my guest and get a sale after 3 years, but yeah, in most cases that it just doesn't work because your boss will just fire you because it's too slow. Yeah. That's why I always talk about have a nurture sequence instead of a sales sequence. In a nurture sequence, there are sales, what I call moments, but start with nurturing before you start with sales, and that's where many people go wrong, in my opinion. Second thing is, this is a super micro growth hack which you can just implement right now. Yeah. Look at all your automation messages. Yeah. Look at all those inbox stuff you get into your language. What is the one thing that all these messages have the same? Yeah. They all use text. Yeah. I see nobody use emoji. Yes. I always use emoji. Yeah. Why? Because if you use emoji, people think, whoa, this person took the time to find an emoji for me specifically. Yeah. So it makes them feel warm, welcome, emotional. Yeah. And you trigger people if you use them right. Yeah. Just use that. Boom. Easy. Activation 101. Cool. So now back to the tools. We are talking about activation, and this is more kind of like sales, but I believe that the activation for an agency or a freelancer is in getting the sale. Yeah. So I myself use Phantom Buster, but DuckSoup is the longest in the game, which I use for the company that I'm working right now for, and they are really good at this. Yeah, especially if you want to do this I call it this nurturing. Yeah. Use DuckSoup, because DuckSoup, first of all, they always try to follow the guidelines of LinkedIn. Therefore, if there's ever going to be a platform which is allowed to do automation on LinkedIn, it's going to be DuckSoup, because they mimic the behavior of you on LinkedIn. Yeah. For those people out there here, LinkedIn knows if you do automation. Yeah. So they have a fucking growth team of I don't know, 200 people. They're 100% aware that people are constantly using bots and stuff. It's just that they kind of like play nice by saying that they don't like that. It still fascinates me that they are not, making their own sales automation service. Maybe they will do it one day, but yeah, I don't know what the guys at LinkedIn are thinking. Yeah, but use DuckSoup. You can change the days, you can change the hours, and you can go, I think go to 300, 400, 500, 600 days, just message after message after message. It's fully integrated with HubSpot, Zapier, and all these other tools. It's really, they are, I think, maybe one of the first to ever do LinkedIn automation. Second thing, so let's say you're in a sales person, you wanna have more sales activations. Yeah. Use Firefly's AI. What's Firefly's AI? You get automatic notes and transcriptions of your video meetings. Therefore, if one sales agent is rocking the boat and winning everything, yeah, you can actually see what he says, what he does, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Firefly's AI. Really good thing. So now let's go continue with B2B. So maybe you've heard of it, probably not, unless you're buying a car. This is Autoleadstar. Yeah, and even if you buy a car, you've probably never heard of this company. So Autoleadstar got a 40 million round C investment in November 2022. This company did not have this insane, activation strategy or whatsoever, but still, I believe in growth. You don't have to have this outlier, this hustle grind mentality to have these results. It's slow and steady. Make this do the experiment and see what happens. Yeah. So they're more like this. And so car sales in America is very funny. If you want to see if it's a depression or recession, they just look at how many young people are buying a car, because a car is like a kind of like luxury project. America, it's more important than, for example, where I live in the Netherlands. But car sales have been going down for a long time. Why? First of all, we millennials, due to inflation, we make almost zero money. So we don't have that extra 10, 20K just to buy a car. Second thing is that we are smart. We understand that we'd rather buy an electric car than a oil car. Hopefully for the people here, I think the same as me, because in the long run it's going to be cheaper. Yeah. Then again, all these car companies, they still want to, sell their cars. So someone's like, wait, make the second. So car sales, there's a lot of money is going there. It's like 10, 12, or 14K. Cool. If I can make a marketing tool for that, then I'm gonna make a lot of money, because these companies, they all want to make money. So I'm gonna make a specifically growth hack tool for our car companies. That's Autoleadstar. Yeah. So it shows you the data analytics of selling cars, basically. So what did this company do, which you can copy as a growth hacker, as an agency? Yeah? So first of all, they did lead scoring. So what's lead scoring? Lead scoring is where you track the behavior of your customer. So they went to the web page, they have that meeting, they saw the ad, all these kind of like touch points, and you give a point for that. Yeah, it's like, okay, they went on our start page. Yeah, they for every minute they spent their extra point. Yeah, thing is, it's not only positive scoring, it's also negative scoring. It's called negative lead scoring. For everything they did not do, yeah, you have to chart out this entire customer journey, you get negative points. Then when you actually go into this sales call, it's like, oh, I see, okay, they saw that, didn't saw that, they see that, okay, cool. And then you can customize what you're going to tell this person based on how he was qualified. Yeah, and the tricky of that is that you just pull down those people who are what we call low-hanging fruit. Yeah, so it's like, oh, we visited our site 3 times. Yeah, he actually opened our use case and spent so much time on it. Yeah, and then go for that. Second of all, they only use LinkedIn ads, and I get that because their targeting audience is manufacturers of cars, and they are on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn ads, that's super expensive, yeah. But if you hyper personalize them, yeah, and LinkedIn has got very deep in ads. Like I'm only on Sales Navigator, but if they have even like a 50% of the Sales Navigator in the ads, then it's not as good as Facebook. And the end of that, Meta is still I think the king of, if you talk about specific personalization. But LinkedIn is getting closer, yeah, because what LinkedIn has added last time is they added I think personas in which you can group people not anymore based just on demographics, but also in how their behavior manifests on the platform, which is like fascinating. Simple one-on-one sales on LinkedIn as well as a tip. So if a CEO or anyone in the C-suite, manager, whatever, moved from a company, let's say if they are at a new company for 3 to 6 months, they want to make impact. Yeah. So when people move to another company, they are much higher to convert towards you because they are full with new ideas. Yeah. Make advantage of that. Okay, so how do you do this for yourself? First of all, use Outfunnel. Outfunnel is a company where you can do lead scoring. They have advanced tutorials on that. Also, let's say you're already this agency, you're already big, whatever. HubSpot also has lead scoring. Yeah, just use the HubSpot lead scoring. Yeah. Second thing is, as we were talking about personalization. I don't have to tell you how important personalization is in just B2C marketing, but I believe it's also very important in B2B marketing. Many people, they just think like, oh, just make a website, people like it, clients, case studies, bomb, yeah, we got it. No, think about this, yeah. Think about, for example, let's say you're B2B and you're growing or scaling. Now you want to have a special page for those investors, yeah. You want to have a special page for someone who already has seen your product twice or 3, and you have to, adjust the customer journey. Ideally, you would have a AI which determines every time a user comes to your website, okay, I think this person wants to see this kind of website, yeah? And then you go for that. Okay. So second thing. Wait. Yeah. Bloomreach is a website where I can use I think it's AI personalization for B testing and test it out. Yeah, because I believe that many B2B companies leave a lot of what I call e-commerce strategies just on the table by saying like, oh, we are not e-commerce. I said like, try it out. If it doesn't work, cool, then it doesn't work, but at least you tried it out. Yeah, and the same is with e-commerce. Yeah, they just like, oh, but we are not in the client getting business. No, you all do sales. Yeah, in the end, you are all selling to people. It's not. Of course, there's a difference between someone who's shopping on their phone, but and someone who's at a company who's going to do a deal for that. But at the end of the day, we're all human, and it's all about psychology and helping your customer, client, or user. Okay, Calendly. Oh, I love this man. This man, Awotana. Tope Awotana. He's from Nigeria, and he spent 7 years in sales before he came up with Calendly. I love Calendly. I use it everywhere. Yeah, for everyone here, if you ever want to have a tool where you can schedule things for free, bomb, use Calendly. Integrates with Google Meet, Zoom, all those kind of tools. Super easy. And I think that's like a 3-second onboarding. I think you don't even need an email nowadays. And they are gigantic. Yeah, 10 million users in 50,000 companies. Yeah, widely popular on LinkedIn, especially for recruits and stuff. But if you want to manage your time, either you use the HubSpot scheduler or Calendly. Yeah. And again, as we're saying, it's just free. Yeah, you can just use it for however long you want, and you never pay for it. Yeah. So Calendly, just a little bit backstory. This guy, he did sales before. He just went to other companies, and he would just like sell his products. And then he got into like e-sales, and there's like, okay, let's create Calendly. Let's make a tool where you can actually schedule these meetings. Because the trick about Calendly, this is what I always say, is like, I send people my Calendly, yeah. And the idea behind this is the following: is that they scheduled you, therefore they think they are in control because you gave them the opportunities to schedule on their own time. Yeah. The thing is, I control when I get my appointments, because I schedule when I will get the appointment. Yeah, I am not like this guy who schedules like 9 to no. I have specific days, specific times. So I always get the best kind of like appointment because I set that up. It's kind of like a time automation, if you want to call it about. And I believe if you really want to care about your time, take a Calendly, yeah, or make sure that you have a automatic what I call calendar, and put in those slots where you actually do have time for a meeting. Yeah, don't be the guy like who has like 8 meetings a day and cannot do any work. Yeah. Also, that's another thing which I learned is if you're on Calendly, make sure that you put buffers in between the meetings, because sometimes I also have like for some reason people they all want to have the meeting on the same day, and I have 3 meetings in a row. That's just terrible, because first of all, some meetings they are much longer than you expect. They are much longer than you expect. Second of all, yeah, you just want to have time in between the meetings. So add that buffer in there. Also in Calendly, you can just say like, hey, I want to have at least 30 minutes to an hour in between meetings. And I think nowadays you can even say like, I only want to have 2 meetings a day, max, which is, I think, really good. So this Tope, he's from Nigeria. What I love about this guy is that he was like, okay, first things first, I'm not gonna hire all these people. I'm gonna automate as much as possible. Yeah, this is a perfect case about growth hacking went really well. Yeah. So how did he do it? Okay, first thing first, he started, and I think around 1,000 customers. He was like, constantly, it was free. But then he was like, dude, we need to make some money. So he brought in premium. Yeah. So what do you do if you go for premium? A lot of people, they call it legacy accounts, people who were there from the beginning, and they give them a kind of like free premium. Not Tove. No, he was like, "Bomb! Everybody's going back to base 0. Yeah, you're gonna be in the basic, and you're gonna upgrade or you're not gonna upgrade. Yeah, it's like a complete what I call reverse psychology in terms of monetization, and it worked. Yeah, many people were like, "Oh, I already used this tool. Okay, I actually pay for it." Yeah, then they invented the Pro tool. Yeah, so Pro. And was basically premium, but you had done a little bit more integration with Zapier and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, how do we get people from premium to pro? Because premium actually already has a lot of tools. So this is, again, reverse psychology in monetization. They were like, okay, which is the most important integration that people use? So they looked in the data. It was Salesforce. So they pushed Salesforce to pro, and everybody went from premium to pro. Fucking genius. Yeah, again, it's kind of like devilish, evilish how he fixed it, but he fixed it. Yeah, that's what I call activation strategies. Yeah, not playing a nice ball, not even like, oh no, we see her so low. No, just move the most important piece, the most important integration to a higher tier, and everybody will follow. And maybe some people will not follow. Then again, that's their problem. That was his philosophy. Second thing, he has no lack of barriers. Yeah, so you have to enter email. Yeah, no credit card required. Very specifically, put in all your stuff already that you don't need that. That you don't that there are less barriers. Yeah. Yeah, and if you want to have another example of why Calendly is like the insane growth hack study, they got 54 million backlinks. Yeah, that's like even if I had an army of like SEO marketers and growth hack, I would not be able to do that. That's like insane. That's fucking insane. No wonder they're doing this well. So, okay, let's say you want to do a Calendly and you want to like Tope, say like, oh, I'm gonna automate everything and just win the money and be an activation pro. First thing I'm gonna talk you to about is N8N. Yeah, so everyone's always automation, Zapier. So Zapier is the oldest guy in the field, and you have thousands and thousands of integrations. Problem with Zapier is the first one. As what I heard is the following: is that in Zapier, you cannot share workflows with other people. You only build them for yourself, and that's it. Yeah, you cannot save workflow and then come 3 years later back like, oh, I want to use that workflow that I used 3 years ago. No, you can only have so many amount of workflows, and you're limited in that. Not N8N. N8N, you can actually share automation. You can add code to the automation, which is super nice because sometimes you need code and sometimes you just need to click with the buttons, and then automate with it. It's also a lot cheaper as ZPA. Second of all, for people here who are still learning, or like me, I have to pick one. I'm a SSA Phantom Buster boy. If you go for N8N, this is a skill which is like higher in price quality, because if you go to, let's say, automation expert on LinkedIn, everybody will have ZPA. Yeah. Well, N8 is a really good opposite, and not many people are already specialists in N8N. Night. Oh, I see now for the first time that spells like night. It was N8N. Okay, second thing is this is a thing which I would, if I were a B2B company or had my prices somewhere, use pricing AI. Yeah. So again, look where the user's coming from. Do with all the airport agents. Let's go to Lisbon. Yeah. That price varies when I enter, which browser I use, and if they have tracked me before or not. Yeah. Why don't we all do this? Yeah. Just if you have, let's say, price on there, track the journey, track the stuff. Yeah. Don't say it's 200 euro just because. No, make it 400 euros by the way, or 150. Yeah. Be flexible in the price. People don't know. Yeah. They're not gonna check is that the real price or whatever, unless unless they for some reason figure that out by themselves. But till this day, many people don't know that the price of flight tickets is flexible. And if you know sales, every price is flexible. Yeah, it's how much is something, how much you want to pay for it. Yeah, and especially in B2B sales, that this is a thing where I always talk about. I hope sincerely we go to a model, of paid by the impact. Just to give you an example. Let's say you're an agency, yeah, and you get a 10x profit for your company in terms of marketing efforts, yeah. They're gonna pay you, let's say, 30,000, yeah, but that company made 300,000, yeah. Is that fair? Yeah, it's 10%, but you got like 80 or 9%. No, what you want actually, you want to have paid by the impact. Yeah, so instead of like I want to have 30, I want to have this much money per hour, which to me is kind of like old. Say like, hey, we know that you pay us because we worked with you before. This time we want to get paid by the impact. So this is a really good deal for you, because if you screw up as growth hackers, yeah, you don't pay us at all. Why? Because we didn't get it. But if you win, yeah, and you do this with second time customers, yeah, we're gonna win both, yeah, and then you get paid fair. This is the strategy just to try out. And again, this is more like in the sales department. It's kind of like activation, yeah, because you activate people with a new business proposal. Okay, so if you stick to the end, thank you. We got it within the 1 hour. This is the thing I'm gonna launch in February. It's called Growth Tech. So I believe growth hacking is not a one-man army or a team-man army. Yeah, growth tech is about getting sales, marketing, and growth people in the same room. Yeah, this is the room. Yeah, and then you can use the power of Megamind. Yeah, more eyes on one growth experience, the better the growth experiment. Yeah, so we're gonna start in February. It's gonna be a couple of months. And you will meet, like-minded people, yeah, from different companies. You already have to be working at the company, so can directly implement this. Yeah, we're gonna not work with what I call startups, or maybe we're gonna work with scale-ups, but we're not gonna work with I call e-commerce people, unless you have like a 10K a month e-commerce business. Yeah, but no, like basic growth hackers. No, these are all professionals who already have experience, and we're gonna put them together. Yeah. Second of all, you're gonna ask what you want to learn. So every 2 weeks, you will pick the topic, yeah, and I will pick based on what the group wants, and then we're gonna create templates for that topic. We're gonna have maybe some speaker or me just showing you how to do it, and you will have like these in-depth sessions. So what you see today is just a basic session, yeah, there's a case study session, but then we have just I think like a half hour to hour, like a kind of like what this is, a webinar, and then we have what I call the real growth hacking, yeah, where the group are pulling out ideas out of the box of our mind, putting them on the wall, seeing which idea is the best, and then we go back and do it. Yeah. And after 2 weeks, you come back again. It's like, hey, oh, we got this success. Yeah. So the best growth experience or the best growth hacker, he wins a prize at the end of the month, and then at the end of the year, at the end of the track, so 6 months, then the best growth hacker again wins a prize. So we also gamify the experience, because if you do only growth hacking for your own company, you miss out on all these amazing insights and ideas of the growth hackers or growth marketers who are working in different industries. I noticed that the best ideas are not from within a company oftentimes. It's actually from the outside. Yeah. And you only have to open yourself up to that. Let's say you're like, oh, that's fascinating, that's interesting, I want to hear more about it. Just send me a DM. We're now in the build-up phase. And I'm happy to provide you with more insights and more information. Cool.